Farm Network.
The following is a sponsored program paid for by Robin Gwaltney, Gwaltney Group-RE Results. Welcome to Rochester Real Estate, featuring Robin Gwaltney from Gwaltney Group-RE Results and Andy Brownell. Here's Andy Brownell on Rochester's News Talk, 1340 KROC AM and 96.9 FM.
Good morning. Welcome to Saturday. Welcome back to winter, right? Robin Gwaltney, Gwaltney Results with us.
Life in Minnesota, as we know it. As we know it.
I had the pipe dream, hey, maybe this is the year.
Well, I thought you were going to get a big old snowstorm, and looks like that missed us.
Well, the Duluth and the North Shore got pounded.
Oh, did they?
Oh,
and La Crosse got between 6 and 10 inches of snow.
Yeah, that was
Friday?
That one just narrowly missed us, yeah.
Yeah.
But there was a town up along the North Shore that saw 38 inches.
Oh, my God, that's ridiculous.
And you travel along the Highway 61 going up to Grand Marais was impossible the other night.
I believe it.
So we'll deal with a little chilly weather instead of that garbage, yeah.
Well, soon it's going to be March, and then as soon as it's March, it's automatically St. Patrick's Day, and then as soon as it's St. Patrick's Day, it's Easter, and then we're running. I mean, we'll be talking about winter like it was a thing of the past before long. Yeah,
we'll be talking about getting the yards cleaned up and landscaping projects going and everything else.
Cleaning out those gutters that you forgot to clean out before winter came, because you don't want, when the rains start coming, you don't want those gutters that are full of those piled up dead leaves. I was at a new listing appointment the other day, and the photographer was there taking photos. So I went upstairs and I opened up the windows, and the first thing I saw was gutters packed full of leaves, and I'm like, okay, those have got to get cleaned out, or you're going to have a big problem when the rainy season gets here. But anyway,
I have not right next door, but very nearby, family that has 3 giant oak trees in their backyard, and oak trees don't let go until late. So no matter how hard you work to get those leaves, they're going to be there in the spring.
Yep. And just as long as you remember to get them out as soon as weather permits. I mean, last week, it was at the very same listing appointment. The photographer looked out at the deck and he's like, "Oh, Robin, those leaves look terrible," because they had fallen and then got covered by snow and ice. Well, then the snow and ice had melted. We had those couple of nice days. So I'm like, no, don't take those pictures. Let me go clean that up. So I got out there and swept it all up, and it was just so nice out, and the deck looked so much better. But I couldn't clean the gutters out for them.
No, that would. You don't have a 12-foot ladder with you all the time.
I don't have those skills. No, I'd be the one that would fall right off of it.
Or the desire to do it. That's a younger person's task.
I don't mind going the extra mile for my clients, but I am going to draw the line at cleaning the gutters.
You can hire somebody for that work, that's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Well, in real estate news, Robin, I noticed that we kind of reached a little bit of a milestone concerning interest rates.
Yay. For the first time in 3 years, they actually came in at under 6%. And when I say under, I mean by a thread, barely under, 5.9. But 1 year ago, they were 7%. So this is great news.
It's headed in the right direction.
Headed in the right direction.
And that's a national average, right? That doesn't really apply locally.
That is correct. And I think we usually, while we've been doing this show, we usually tend to be on the low side of the low. So that's good.
And I bet it's been busy.
Oh my gosh. I'll tell you what. It feels like spring has already gotten here. I've been putting on listings like crazy. I think we had 3 or 4 new ones go on yesterday. I think we have 3 or 4 more coming at the first of the month. And then I think we have another 6 coming right before match. I mean, we are just busy. And that's good. I am not complaining. I do love to be busy. You know that. And, but I am seeing activity and seeing it in places where we hadn't been seeing it. Like we had some listings that had been sitting, and then all of a sudden had 1 showing, 2 showings, 3 showings scheduled. I'm like, okay, this is a good sign.
I bet it had something to do with, upper 50s and sunshine.
Yeah, it does. I mean, the weather definitely plays a part because, mentally we're like, okay, spring is here. Let's get going. I was talking to some sellers that I had in my office yesterday, and they said, is there a prime time to sell our house? And I said, this is like, if I had a crystal ball, I'd be the most successful realtor on the planet. Anybody would, because if we could answer those those unanswerable questions, like what is it gonna, what's gonna happen? How long is it gonna take? Yeah, we don't know, right? We definitely don't know, but they have a big house with a couple of acres, and I told them we can kind of profile who your buyer is going to be. And chances are it's going to be somebody that either has a few kids or plans to have a few kids, wants a little space to spread out, and, needs those 5 bedrooms, all of those things, right? And the problem is that those people, if they are already Rochester people and they just want to move up to their dream home or at least one step closer to their dream home, like in their next move up house, those people have been staying pretty, they've just been staying put, right? Because
we've seen that nationally too.
Yeah, it's a tough pill to swallow to give up that sweet, sweet interest rate that they A, received when they purchased their house, or B, received when they refinanced their house. So a huge portion of mortgages are sitting at a 3% and less interest rate. So it's tough for those people. Even at 6%, still double. But they hang on a little longer.
When those kids are growing up, there's only this. When it was told to me years ago, I had a hard time believing it, but it goes by in a flash.
Oh, doesn't it? And I tell people, listen, if financially you can afford to make the move, why are you waiting? Like, you don't get to relive their childhood. You don't get to, it's like, if you're dreaming about putting in that pool, don't put it in when they're teenagers and never home. Put it in now, right?
Right.
So, anyway, I mean, we are definitely seeing people picking up. So I think people have finally just said, all right, the idea of it going back down to that isn't happening. So if we want a bigger house, then we're just going to have to grit and bear it.
Well, that goes back to what you've said all along. You look at your budget.
Right. Exactly.
And see if it works within your budget.
Exactly. Because chances are you're not living there for the next 30 years or paying that house off in full. That's a very small portion of the people. Most people are there 5 to 7 years, sell it, pay off what they owe, move on to the next place.
When you talk about the younger families, and I imagine that's a lot of them are locked in with those pandemic interest rates. But I also imagine that there's a lot of people our age who have this, enormous amount of equity.
Right.
That maybe that interest rate really isn't that much of a factor in it at all.
Exactly. And that's the thing that I'm so happy you pointed that out, because that's the thing they don't think about. And it's like, but listen, you've got so much equity in your home that when you sell it, you're going to have this great big chunk to put down on the next one. And that's going to play a huge part. So yes, I do focus on what is your monthly payment going to be and how does that fit your budget, period.
Absolutely. End of the story right there.
End of the story.
All right. Robin, let's take a quick break. We'll be right back in a moment. Robin Gwaltney, Gwaltney Group-RE results. This is News Talk 1340 KROC AM and 96.9 FM.
We'll be right back with Robin Gwaltney and Andy Brownell on Rochester Real Estate. This is News Talk 1340 KROC AM and 96.
Terms do apply.
To Rochester Real Estate with Robin Gwaltney from Gwaltney Group-RE results and Andy Brownell on Rochester's News Talk 1340 KROC AM and 96.9 FM.
Welcome back. News Talk 1340 KROC AM 96.9 FM. With Robin Gwaltney, Gwaltney Group-RE results, our usual Saturday morning chat about real estate, especially in the Rochester area and southeastern Minnesota. We're not really seeing any change inventory-wise, are we? I mean, you say you're seeing a bunch of listings come on, but even if you get a bunch of listings, we're so far behind. That's still a big issue, right?
You're right. And this is really important to think about. As these interest rates go down, we get more buyers that come into the market, right? I think I remember saying that I read somewhere, I mean, I know this for a fact, not I think, that with every 1% that interest rates drop, 1 million more buyers. Now, of course, this is nationally, come into the market, okay? So and they have dropped 1% since last year. So yes, we're going to see more buyers out there being qualified, more buyers out there getting ready to get in, jump in, and start looking at houses. So what do you suppose that does to the home prices?
Makes them go up.
It makes them go up. So unfortunately, millions more Americans are able to qualify for mortgages because of the dip in the rates. And now the surge of buyers returning to the market isn't going to be entirely positive, because unless housing supplies increase, which I don't know how that's going to happen. It's been a problem we've been battling for a while. These additional buyers are going to become active in the market, and it's just going to push the prices up, and quite a bit. I saw here, let me quote it. NAR reported that existing home sale price hit an all-time high in January of 2026 with a median sale price of $396,800 nationally.
Wow.
Yeah.
Just about $400,000. Wow.
Yeah, that's average. That's median sale price. Okay. Also, 73% of the 230 U.S. metro areas see home prices rise year over year all the way through the final quarter of 2025. So prices are just going up, up, up.
I mean, really, the only thing that could change it would be new construction, right?
Yeah, and we're definitely seeing a lot of that in Rochester. So since January 2020, I know we talked a little bit before we started getting online about so many. Oh no, I think we were online talking about equity. People our age having a lot of equity.
Yes.
And the typical homeowner, so not even just the old people like me and you, but people that have owned their homes since 2020 have accumulated $130,500 in housing wealth. That's how much equity they've accumulated in this last 5 years.
That's astounding is what that is.
Yeah, they weren't getting that in any bank account. So, and they can't live in their bank account, right? Because your house is the only bank account that you can live in. So keep that in mind. I was showing houses last week to a young gal, and I had sold her parents a few houses, and I had sold her grandparents' home and sold them another home. So I was like, I'm the family realtor. And the dad looked me in the eye and he said, Robin, I will never forget what you said to me the very first time I met you. I thought, oh boy, here we go. What did I say? Because, I've been known to say, well, you can want that much, but you ain't going to get it. You're, whatever. So anyway, he said, you told me that, you wished that that sellers would all be like we and take such great care of our house and treat it like it is our bank account and treat it like it is our biggest asset, because it truly is. And I'm like, oh, that's awesome. And I said, and you know what? I continue to say that over and over and over because I really mean that.
But
it does matter.
You see it in your job. You actually see the dollar difference between the house that has been allowed to deteriorate and those that have been maintained.
It's just like, keep it up, guys. I know that there's better things to do in the summer than scrape and restain your deck, but please do it so that your deck doesn't rot. And the next thing you know, not only does it look ugly, it's no longer, doesn't have any integrity left.
Right.
So it's like, you have to take care of that house for sure.
You brought up the deck as an example. The deck I have on the back of my house was put on, honest to goodness, 33 years ago.
Wow.
But we have
cedar or is it green treated?
Green treated, but we have annually stained it.
Yeah, maintained it meticulously.
And I had because it's that old, I had a contractor come out and look at it to make sure it's okay, because you have relayed to me some of these stories about decks that aren't okay. And he said, you probably got another 10 years of this thing.
That's awesome. That is so awesome.
But it's just one example of what a little maintenance can do.
A little maintenance goes a long way. And the value is the thing. I mean, yeah, it's nice to keep them up just so they look nicer. They're going to be more sellable. You're going to sell them for more money. You're going to sell them quicker. But you just continue to build your wealth by creating that value to continue to go up because you're taking care of it. Like I have friends that have lived in their same house and have them all paid for, but they've remodeled and kept up with the times. And I tell them, you're going to reap the rewards of this because otherwise you're going to wait and sell it like this. You're going to be like, I'm used to it. This is the way it's always been. I can live in it dated. I can have the dated kitchen. I can have the dated bathrooms. But when the next guy comes along, you're going to pay for it because now they just ring-a-ling-a-ling. This is how much it's going to cost me to do the bathroom. This is how much it's going to cost me to do the kitchen. Yeah. And so therefore I'm only able to offer this much, right?
And those costs of doing those projects go up every year.
They get more expensive every single year.
So the sooner you take care of them, it's going to cost you less than it will in 5 years.
Just think of it. I mean, honestly, just think of it as maintenance. Like we literally have it on a regular schedule to go through and touch up paint, just like marks on the walls. Oh, yeah. And then after like 5 or 7 years, you're like, okay, you know what? I need a whole paint job now. And people are like, oh my gosh, you just painted your walls. And I'm like, no, it's been 7 years or whatever it is, right? But I just keep it fresh, keep it nice, and keep it maintained.
I have a good friend that what they do is they have one room each year they paint.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
And they just keep moving through the house every single year.
That's smart. And then it's not so overwhelming, right? I kind of tell people the same thing when they're trying to pack and move. It's like, the old saying, how do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. So it's going to take a while, but bottom line is you're not going to become overwhelmed if you just take on a project at a time and know like, for the month of February, this is my project, or for the month of March, this is my project. And then when it comes to packing, I say just divide it up into rooms and don't think about having to pack a whole house. Think about, I'm going to work on the kitchen. And let's say you just put your house on the market. You know that you're not going to probably sell it for the next 30 days. You're probably not going to move out for the next 60 or 75 days. So you certainly don't have to pack this weekend. But I tell people, start packing right now and just go room by room. And literally, I use the 3 closed basket system. Go through one cupboard at a time and say, this is trash. Just throw it away. I don't even know why I still have it. Or this is good. Someone might use it, but I haven't used it in 5 years. So put that in the donate basket. And the next thing might be, I definitely want to keep this, but I can do without it until I move. And put it in your kitchen box. And when you're done doing the whole kitchen, donate your donate, throw away your trash, and then pack up your kitchen stuff and label it kitchen. Put your boxes wherever it is you're keeping them. Some people say, do I have to rent a storage space? No, you don't have to. You can pick one wall of your garage. You can use one stall of your garage. Just wherever it is you decide to put them, keep them nice and neat and organized. Because when people come and see, oh, wow, look at how organized these people are moving out. They've got everything labeled. They've got it all stacked up. They've got this, empty bedroom full of their stuff, and they've got it all marked room by room. It sends a message that, like, okay, these people are very meticulous. They're very organized, which then translates to, I betcha they're the kind of people that changed their furnace filter on a regular basis. I bet you they had their furnace inspected on a regular basis. I bet you they cleaned their gutters out at the end of the season, that kind of thing. And it typically is true. You can't really fake being organized and meticulous if you're not.
We need to take another break already. We're with Robin Gwaltney, Gwaltney Group-RE Results, and we'll be back in a few seconds here at News Talk 1340 KROC AM and 96.9 FM.
We'll be right back with Robin Gwaltney and Andy Brownell on Rochester Real Estate. This is News Talk 1340 KROC AM and 96
Stats Journal.
Welcome back to Rochester Real Estate with Robin Gwaltney from Gwaltney Group-RE Results and Andy Brownell on Rochester's News Talk 1340 KROC AM and 96.9 FM.
Welcome back. Robin Gwaltney, Gwaltney Group-RE Results. News Talk 1340 KROC AM at 96.9 FM. Just a few minutes ago, Robin, we were talking about the median value price of existing homes, which is approaching $400,000 nationwide. I'm imagining we can expect that to continue going up.
It's just going to continue to go up. Yes, it is. And, again, to recap, as the rates go down, more buyers come in, more competition means people are starting to bid over the ask price. So, and this is what pushes prices up, right? So we are seeing it. I know, Andy, back in 2021, when the rates dropped so low, we would get on this show and we would talk together about, oh my God, the Scottsdale, Arizona went up 33% year over year. I mean, just ridiculous amounts of really rapid growth in value, right? And we knew that couldn't be good. And so this winter we were talking about, things are sitting pretty stagnant, right? Prices literally have dropped in some of those markets. Well,
those high growth areas, yeah.
Yeah, of course they did. They couldn't stay. That was not sustainable at all. Well, now, just to give you an idea of what we're kind of seeing coming in the future, I found this article. 10 markets where pending sales rose in the month of January. All right, so you can imagine it's some of those same markets that we've been talking about. So despite the fact that there was a national, maybe drop, if you look at all the states, month over month, in these 10 markets, they saw the biggest annual gains in January that they have seen quite some time. Phoenix, Mesa, Chandler, Arizona, up by 11.8%. And Boston, Cambridge, Newton, Massachusetts, up by 10.7%. Charlotte, Concord, and Gastonia, I don't even know where that is, North Carolina and South Carolina, up by 10.7%. California, San Francisco, Oakland, and Fremont, all up by 9%. Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, pending sales up 8.7%. St. Louis, Missouri, up by 8%. Virginia Beach, Chesapeake, Norfolk, Virginia, up 7.6%. San Diego, Chula Vista, Carlsbad, up by 7.5%. San Antonio and New Braunfels, Texas, up by 7.4%. And Miami, Fort Lauderdale, and West Palm Beach, up by 6.8%. So these are pending home sales. So the sales are picking up.
Yeah.
All right. And
it just shows the market works, too.
The market works. And, this is really cool because I talk a lot about how I have realtor friends all across the country, right? And I belong to a lot of different, Zoom groups where we meet once a week and talk about, hey, you guys doing anything new? Got any ideas? How are you winning in multiples? Just sharing ideas, right? Because RE/MAX it's a big brand, and that's one of the most, I think, beneficial parts of working with the brand is that there's so much available to us just throughout the network of 140-some thousand agents. We just actually, a little side note, had a new president appointed at RE/MAX this week.
I saw that.
Yeah, did you? Chris Lim. And he's a great guy, and I absolutely love him. He hasn't been with the company a long time, but he comes to us from Christie's Auction House. And before he went to Christie's, he had built his own luxury brand of real estate that he grew really big and then sold it to the mother company of Reology. So he's got a lot of experience. He's very well versed on luxury, which I think is so well timed here in our Rochester market. We've talked a lot about how we're going to see a change and see a whole new level of luxury. Like, have we always had beautiful homes? Well, yes, of course. We've got the Pill Hill mansions from 100 years ago. So beautiful homes are nothing new. But luxury to the point where, you have the very expensive downtown condos that you own and that your doorman meets you at the door and gets you your mail or takes your dry cleaning, that kind of luxury. Something that will be definitely new to Rochester, but is coming because you don't grow your infrastructure and, raise the bar for international medicine without expecting all of those things to happen as well. Right?
Absolutely.
So for us, it's really great timing to have Chris at the helm, other than the fact that he's just a great guy and a great leader. So I'm excited about that. But what I was getting at is my realtor friends from these markets are the ones that have been saying, oh my gosh, I am so busy. I'm going crazy right now. And I'm looking at it going, oh yeah, I see why. I see why you're so busy there in Arizona, Don. Your sales are up 11.8%, or Karen in Boston, or, whoever, Michelle in San Francisco. I mean, I have people in all these markets, which is so important for the people listening to know that if you might be finishing your residency or finishing your fellowship, or it's just time to leave Rochester, wherever it is you're going, I can put you in touch with somebody that I know personally and trust and know will do a good job for you. So don't forget to think about that aspect as well.
Yep. A very, very important thing, especially when you're talking about that transient population who, they're living here 3 to 5 years.
Correct. So wherever it is you're coming from or going to, I've got connections. And that's why the brand is so important. And next week I'll be gone for a few days. Don't worry, I'll be back by the weekend to do the radio show, but I'll be in Vegas for the conference, for our 4 annual conference. So I'll be excited to tell you all the new things I learned that we have going on, cutting edge stuff. And
who the keynote act is, because that one time you saw Huey Lewis on the news, right?
Oh yeah, we've had a lot of fun ones. This year it's a train concert. But on the side, we're going to the Eagles at the Sphere. So that's
you're going to love it.
Yeah, I'm excited.
I can't wait to hear it because I was so impressed with that place.
Good.
It's incredible. Once you experience, you'll go, wow.
Awesome. That's what I've heard. So I'm looking forward to it.
All right. Well, Robin, how do we get a hold of you if you want to?
Absolutely. Call me on my cell phone anytime, people. I really, truly do answer my phone. People are always so surprised. They're like, wow, you answer your phone. But I do. So I wouldn't give out my number and tell you to call me if I didn't. It's 507-259-4926. And when I tell you that I welcome your calls, I mean it.
All right, Robin. We'll look forward to speaking again next Saturday morning. And have a great week.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
All right. Robin Gwaltney Group RE/MAX results on News Talk 1340 KROC AM and 96.